Imagine an object orbiting Earth not launched by NASA, SpaceX, or any known space agency, a mysterious satellite that has quietly watched over humanity for some 13,000 years. This is the essence of the Black Knight satellite, an enigmatic entity shrouded in secrecy and mystery, captivating conspiracists, ufologists, and curious minds alike. Unlike any human-made craft, this satellite is said to have existed long before our species even understood the concept of space travel, silently observing our planet from the shadows of orbit without disclosure or acknowledgment by any official body. The story of the Black Knight is not just a tale of an unidentified object, but a sprawling legend wrapped in history, technology, myth, and extraterrestrial speculation. This satellite, with its near-polar orbit, defies explanation within known aerospace records. It was not put into orbit as part of any government project, nor is it part of any documented space mission. Yet, through generations, strange signals, unexplained radar readings, and ambiguous photographs from space missions have been linked to what some claim is an ancient alien sentinel. Believers assert that this Black Knight has silently watched humanity's evolution through the rise and fall of civilizations, wars, technological revolutions, and space explorations. It represents the ultimate cosmic observer, a relic of advanced intelligence, whose origins and purpose remain tantalizingly elusive. Over the next 24 parts, we will unravel the complex tapestry of the Black Knight satellite mythos, examining its earliest recorded signals from the experiments of Nikola Tesla in the late 19th century, the mysterious long-delayed echoes heard by radio operators, conflicting reports during the early space race, controversial NASA photos, and the myriad theories attempting to explain its existence. We will separate fact from fiction, explore how this object has ascended from scientific curiosity to cultural icon, and probe the enduring fascination it holds over skeptics and believers alike. Prepare to journey into one of the most enduring mysteries of modern space lore, an enigma that challenges our understanding of history, extraterrestrial intelligence, and the very nature of surveillance in the cosmic arena. At the cusp of the 20th century, humanity's understanding of electromagnetic phenomena was exploding through pioneering minds and inventions, none more visionary than Nikola Tesla. In 1899, Tesla chose the remote high-altitude plains of Colorado Springs as the stage for his most radical experiments, work that would lay the technological and metaphysical groundwork for what some consider the earliest known detection of the mysterious Black Knight satellite signals. Tesla's experimental station in Colorado Springs was the world's largest laboratory dedicated to high-voltage, high-frequency electricity. Here, he constructed the colossal magnifying transmitter, a monumental Tesla coil, nearly 50 feet in diameter, capable of generating artificial lightning bolts reaching up to 135 feet long. Such immense electrical discharges caused spectacular phenomena. Sparks would arc from water pipes, street lamps glowed without power, and horses were startled by blue halos flickering on their metal shoes. Amidst this intense electrical storm, Tesla recorded a series of peculiar repetitive radio signals emanating from space. His sensitive instruments detected rhythmic pulses unlike any terrestrial transmissions. Tesla himself hypothesized that these signals might be intelligent communications from another world, possibly Mars or Venus, marking perhaps the birth of interstellar radio astronomy decades before its formal scientific recognition. These early observations signaled a profound shift. Tesla recognized the Earth as a gigantic conductor, capable of transmitting electrical energy wirelessly across vast distances without loss. His work presaged the concept that planets and distant civilizations could exchange electromagnetic messages, a visionary notion well ahead of his time. However, Tesla's claims were met with skepticism from the scientific establishment of the era, primarily because radio astronomy as a discipline did not yet exist and many such signals were later understood to be natural cosmic phenomena such as pulsars, rotating neutron stars emitting regular radio pulses, yet Tesla's insights remain notable as pioneering attempts to detect communication beyond our planet. Tesla's Colorado Springs experiments intertwine scientific curiosity with emerging mythology surrounding extraterrestrial contact. His reports of receiving signals from space resonate with the Black Knight satellite proponents' belief that mysterious ancient satellites or objects have silently circled Earth for millennia, observing our development. This chapter explores Tesla's complex experiments in detail, the construction of his transmitter, his theoretical breakthroughs about wireless power transmission, the context of electrical phenomena at the laboratory, and his groundbreaking if controversial claim of cosmic signal detection. We will examine archival notes, contemporaneous scientific critiques, and modern interpretations that position Tesla's radio signals as the foundation stone of the Black Knight narrative. Tesla's Colorado Springs experiments thus represent more than just scientific history. They embody a seminal moment where human exploration of electromagnetic waves intersected with the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, a theme that reverberates in the mysterious saga of the Black Knight satellite. As the 20th century progressed and radio technology evolved, the seeds planted by Tesla's observations sprouted into a complex saga of unexplained signals and mysterious aerial phenomena that would form the cornerstone of the Black Knight satellite legend. Central to this chapter are key historical events and figures who contributed to the gradual accumulation of enigmatic evidence. Amateur radio operators, radar experts, and early space observers, all witnessed to phenomena that defied conventional explanation. In 1928, Norwegian engineer Jørgen Hals was experimenting with radio transmissions in Oslo when he encountered a baffling anomaly. Hals observed long-delayed echoes, radio signals transmitted from Earth that returned seconds later than anticipated, far exceeding the expected milliseconds drowned in ionospheric reflections. Some signals exhibited delays of 15 seconds or more, puzzling engineers and sparking speculation on their origin. This phenomenon suggested the signals had bounced off an unknown body in space, a mysterious reflector orbiting Earth and sending back the transmissions in a delayed fashion. The presence of such an object was incompatible with any known human-made technology, leading to early conjectures about the possibility of an artificial satellite in orbit long before established spaceflight capabilities. Decades later, the analysis of these long-delayed echoes was furthered by British astronomer Duncan Lunan in the 1970s. Lunan examined LDE data recorded in the late 1920s and argued that the timing and pattern of the echoes contained an encoded star map. This map, he theorized, originated from a satellite or probe sent by an extraterrestrial civilization plotting the future position of our solar system over a 13,000-year timeline. Although Lunan later partially retracted the star map theory due to criticism and methodological questions, his work cemented a linkage between the mysterious radio echoes and the theoretical existence of the Black Knight satellite. His claims captured public imagination, blending scientific data with speculative mythology that continues to fuel debate. Adding fuel to the fire were reports from the Cold War era, a period rife with secrecy and paranoia. In 1954, UFO researcher and former Marine Corps Major Donald Keyhoe claimed the U.S. Air Force had detected 2 unknown satellites orbiting Earth years before any country had officially launched a man-made satellite. This provocative assertion was widely publicized and became a foundational element of the Black Knight narrative. Expert analysis suggests Keyhoe's report was likely grounded in misinterpretation or symbolic rhetoric designed to raise awareness about UFO phenomena rather than a solid military intelligence finding. Nonetheless, the claim resonated deeply in the public psyche. coalescing around the idea of an ancient, unknown satellite silently circumnavigating our planet. These early satellite conjectures epitomize the blend of hard science, genuine mystery, and the human desire to find order and meaning in unexplained phenomena. The long-delayed echoes continue to puzzle radio scientists. The Cold War-era sightings stirred fears and fantasies, and the elusive recordings from the early to mid-20th century served as cryptic breadcrumbs leading to the legend of the Black Knight. This chapter dives into the technicalities of early radio signals, the history of satellite detection during the decades preceding the space age, and the social milieu that shaped these tales. We explore primary sources, eyewitness accounts, and scientific commentary to discern how myth and reality intertwined, seeding the powerful and lasting legend of the Black Knight satellite. In the 1970s, British astronomer Duncan Lunan proposed one of the most intriguing and widely discussed theories regarding the enigmatic radio signals associated with the Black Knight satellite legend. Revisiting decades-old data on long-delayed echoes, mysterious radio signals that took much longer to return than conventional models allowed, Lunan hypothesized that these echoes were not random or natural phenomena, but rather encoded messages containing a star map. Lunan's detailed analysis suggested the echoes originated from a probe, possibly the Black Knight itself, orbiting at the Earth-Moon Lagrange point L5. He interpreted the patterns in the echoes as instructions, a cosmic waypoint directing humanity to the Epsilon Bootis star system, a binary star system located approximately 210 light-years away. According to Lunan's theory, the message mapped the position of this star, and may have been sent by an extraterrestrial civilization seeking to communicate with Earth. This revelation captured global headlines, and was featured in influential media outlets such as Time magazine and the CBS Evening News, and was later included in Rod Serling's 1975 documentary, In Search of Ancient Mysteries. Such attention ignited public fascination not only with the mysterious satellite, but with the broader implications of interstellar communication. However, Lunan's theory was met with significant scientific criticism and skepticism. Debates centered around the reliability of the star map interpretation and the integrity of the long-delayed echo data. Subsequent mathematical analysis and critiques highlighted methodological weaknesses and questioned the validity of the claimed decoding. Acknowledging the critiques, Lunan himself withdrew his initial claims in 1976, presenting a revised interpretation that admitted flaws in his earlier conclusions. Yet he later suggested partial support for his ideas, based on positional astronomy, though without reaffirming the original star map hypothesis in full. Whether viewed as a pioneering but flawed attempt to decode alien messages, or as an imaginative leap fueled by insufficient data, Lunan's work profoundly shaped the narrative arc of the Black Knight satellite. It bridged radio astronomy and ufology, intertwining objective scientific inquiry with speculative extraterrestrial lore. In December 1998, during the Space Shuttle Endeavour's STS-88 mission, the first assembly flight of the International Space Station, astronauts captured photographs of an unusual dark object floating near the station. These images reignited the debate about the existence of the Black Knight satellite, sparking international intrigue and fervent debate about the nature of this mysterious shape suspended against the void of space. The photographs show a tumbling, irregularly shaped dark object drifting through low Earth orbit near the shuttle and station. To the untrained eye and conspiracy followers, this appeared to be more than mere debris. It looked like a deliberately placed sentinel in Earth's orbit, silent and timeless, fitting descriptions long attributed to the Black Knight. However, NASA quickly identified the object as a thermal insulation blanket, lost during an extravehicular activity, EVA. This blanket, designed to cover parts of the spacecraft and protect sensitive hardware from extreme temperatures, had come loose and tangled in such a way as to present a bizarre shape. The complex twisting and curling caused odd shadows and contours, creating an illusion of artificiality or intelligent design. This explanation, though straightforward, sparked intense skepticism. To many, NASA's dismissal was seen as a convenient obfuscation, a narrative crafted to preserve secrecy over extraterrestrial visitor acknowledgment or advanced technology mysteries. Others believed the blanket was a fortunate disguise, hiding an ancient alien artifact long observed from Earth. The STS-88 photographs became a modern-day icon among Black Knight believers, visual proof that the satellite was real and operating in Earth's orbit. The public circulation of these images, especially in the age of the internet, entrenched the Black Knight myth deeper into scientific folklore and popular culture. Beyond these photos, the object's polar orbit raised further questions. Polar orbits' trajectories passing over both poles are favored for Earth observation satellites, but no classified or known human satellite orbited in such a ghostly, undetected pattern, matching the Black Knight's alleged path. This enigma fed speculation that the object was extraterrestrial, predating human launches by millennia. Space agencies track thousands of man-made objects in orbit, including debris, satellites, and spent rocket stages. The detected debris catalog maintained by NORAD includes all tracked objects, making the notion of a secret satellite orbiting undetected highly improbable. Yet the Black Knight persists in conspiracy circles as a symbol of unexplained phenomena beyond bureaucratic oversight. Crucially, the STS-88 blanket incident illustrates how mundane space activity can generate phenomena prone to misinterpretation. It highlights the challenges in differentiating reality, perception, and myth in the high-stakes environment of orbital observation, a key dimension fueling the Black Knight saga. The Black Knight satellite myth faces its most profound challenge in scientific scrutiny, where observable phenomena frequently find far less sensational terrestrial explanations. Among the most referenced debunking narratives is the identification of space debris, particularly lost thermal blankets and rocket parts, as mistaken evidence for the Black Knight, illustrating how human perception, confirmation bias, and limited data fuel enduring conspiracies. One of the pivotal moments in debunking occurred during NASA's STS-88 mission in 1998, when the object photographed near the shuttle was officially identified as a thermal insulation blanket lost during an extravehicular activity. Experts explain that this extraterrestrial-looking object was simply a discarded piece of space hardware, made light and malleable, drifting and tumbling under zero gravity. Such debris can appear strange, shadowed and structured, creating optical illusions that foster speculation. Beyond this specific incident, extensive satellite tracking from agencies like NORAD monitors thousands of man-made objects in Earth's orbit. The vast catalog of space debris includes everything from defunct satellites to spent rocket stages, alarms, and other discarded materials. Many sightings of the Black Knight can be attributed to these tracked objects behaving in unexpected ways or remaining in orbits that make them visible only at certain times and angles. Furthermore, radar detections in the 1960s and 1970s of unidentified objects in polar orbits, central to the Black Knight narrative, have largely been explained as classified Soviet or American satellites. Missile warnings or early space debris, mislabeled or misunderstood by observers. However, during the height of the Cold War, secrecy and misinformation made it difficult to access accurate data, deepening mystery and suspicion. It is precisely this mixture of limited data, misidentifications, and the natural human desire to believe in hidden truths that prolong the Black Knight legend, even as space agencies deploy advanced radar and infrared sensors with unprecedented precision. No credible evidence of an unknown ancient satellite has been validated, while scientific communities reject claims of extraterrestrial origin. They acknowledge that the Black Knight phenomenon serves as a compelling case study in how myths arise and endure at the intersection of technology, observation, and culture. The enduring allure owes as much to psychological factors, pattern recognition, conspiracy thinking, as it does to technological misunderstandings. Despite dismissals by experts, the myth persists among dedicated believers who cite anomalies in satellite catalogs, grainy telescope images, and alleged suppressed evidence as proof of concealment. These claims, however, remain unsubstantiated by verifiable data. Ultimately, the Black Knight's most potent mystery may be less about the physical satellite and more about human nature, how legends evolve, how secrecy breeds speculation, and how the vastness of space invites infinite wonder and speculation. The demystification of the Black Knight satellite reveals a story not just of space debris, but of epistemology, trust, and the human impulse to seek meaning beyond the obvious. Beyond the rational explanations involving space debris or lost insulation blankets, lies a vast expanse of speculation and wonder. The theory that the Black Knight satellite is an ancient extraterrestrial artifact, silently orbiting our planet, has enthralled believers who view it as a cosmic observer, monitoring humanity's rise over millennia. Proponents argue the characteristics of the Black Knight defy earthly origin. Unlike known satellites with standardized design and traceable launch histories, this dark, irregular object purportedly moves in a near-polar orbit, unusual for most human spacecraft, and has been detected for over a century via mysterious radio signals and radar tracking. Some posit the Black Knight as a kind of alien surveillance platform, a relic of a highly advanced civilization predating human recorded history. Its mission, according to this hypothesis, is to study Earth remotely, gathering information silently without direct contact. Advocates point to the 13,000-year estimated age often cited, linking it to an era when human civilization was nascent or pre-urban, suggesting a cosmic timescale far surpassing anything manufactured by humanity. Others conceptualize the satellite as a cosmic time capsule, or message buoy suspended in Earth orbit. It may contain data or artifacts designed to be discovered by intelligent species as they reach certain technological thresholds. This aligns with larger search for extraterrestrial intelligence (SETI) hypotheses, examining the possibility that alien civilizations broadcast or leave beacons to communicate across the ages. The technological sophistication implied by an artifact surviving intact for 13 millennia is staggering. It suggests materials, energy sources, and propulsion technologies far beyond current human capability, elements that spark endless scientific curiosity and vigorous debate. This silent sentinel could potentially operate autonomously, adjusting its orbit to maintain surveillance or preserve itself. Cultural and spiritual interpretations also emerge, alongside these scientific and speculative viewpoints. Some regard the Black Knight as a guardian or cosmic witness to human evolution, imbued with symbolic importance extending beyond material existence. This intersection of science, mythology, and philosophy illustrates the profound psychological and cultural impact the Black Knight exerts on humanity's collective imagination. Skepticism remains robust, and claims of extraterrestrial origins are questioned due to a lack of conclusive physical evidence. But for enthusiasts and some researchers, the Black Knight represents a tangible link to cosmic intelligence, an enigmatic reminder that humanity may not be alone or central in the story of the universe. A cornerstone of the Black Knight satellite legend rests on the mysterious radio signals historically associated with the object. These signals have captivated researchers and conspiracy theorists alike, fueling theories of extraterrestrial communication and long-standing surveillance. However, a meticulous review of the scientific explanations reveals a complex tapestry woven from natural cosmic phenomena and early technological limitations. The earliest reports of unexplained radio signals came from Nikola Tesla in 1899, who believed he intercepted regular pulses that might originate from intelligent sources beyond Earth. With the advancement of radio technology, similar signals were recorded as long-delayed echoes, LDEs, which presented anomalously long reflection delays, baffling engineers trying to map their origin. Modern astrophysics clarifies these signals as pulsars, rapidly rotating neutron stars emitting beams of electromagnetic radiation at precise intervals. Pulsars were not discovered until 1967, decades after Tesla's initial findings. But retrospective interpretation attributes many early signals to these naturally occurring celestial lighthouses. Investigations into LDEs found that radio waves might be bouncing not only off Earth's ionosphere but also reflecting off plasma layers or other atmospheric phenomena, leading to delayed and distorted receptions. Additional studies revealed that many supposed encoded messages were patterns imposed by human perception on random or naturally occurring signals, a psychological phenomenon known as pareidolia. Another factor complicating signal analysis involves the limitations of early radio instruments. Primitive receivers and oscilloscopes were often susceptible to interference, thermal noise, and signal flutter, which could produce misleading readings interpreted as patterns or communications. Beyond natural explanations, some researchers explored the possibility of secretive human-made transmitters or radar systems being mistaken for alien signals. During the Cold War, the proliferation of radio transmissions and radar installations introduced numerous unidentified signals into the atmosphere, some of which may have contributed to the mystery. Still, for enthusiasts of the Black Knight, these scientific clarifications only deepen the enigma. They argue that the presence of stable periodic signals, especially those deciphered by Duncan Lunan as a star map message, cannot be dismissed solely as cosmic phenomena or technological artifacts. In balancing skepticism and intrigue, modern signal processing techniques, including digital filtering, frequency analysis, and deep space telemetry studies, have helped disassemble myth from measurable data. Despite advances, certain anomalies in radio propagation resist complete explanation, underscoring the limits of even contemporary science. This section offers a rigorous examination of the electromagnetic signals linked to the Black Knight satellite, detailing their discovery, scientific interpretation, and enduring questions. It frames these signals within the broader challenges of space communication, observation limitations, and the human tendency to find meaning amid cosmic noise. By tracing the evolution of signal analysis from Tesla's era to today, it showcases the intersection of science, technology, and human imagination that fuels the continuing fascination with the Black Knight and the search for signs beyond our world. The decades encompassing the Cold War marked a peak in space race activities between the Soviet Union and the United States, a time defined by political secrecy, rapid technological advancement, and strategic surveillance. Against this backdrop, many reports and theories about the Black Knight satellite intersect intriguingly with classified military projects and misunderstood aerospace phenomena. During the 1960s and 1970s, radar detection systems in both superpowers frequently picked up unidentified objects in polar orbits. These orbits, passing over both poles rather than the more common equatorial paths, were often used by reconnaissance and spy satellites searching for global coverage. However, the secrecy shrouding classified programs prevented open identification or explanation, allowing for speculation and misinformation. Some early radar blips thought to be the Black Knight were likely fragments of classified Soviet satellites, or early American experimental spacecraft, whose existence was not publicly confirmed. Others could have been debris from rocket stages or malfunctioning satellites tumbling in orbit. The inability to publish or clarify such data contributed to the aura of mystery and unknowability. Moreover, the strategic nature of polar orbits during this era aligns with many sightings describing an object moving in unusual and inexplicable ways, given the limited technology and sparse data sharing between nations. Phantom satellites were unsurprising, though they ignited public intrigue and fears of extraterrestrial surveillance. In the US, early satellite programs, including Corona and later keyhole reconnaissance missions, operated with extreme secrecy. Likewise, Soviet radar systems launched satellites for intelligence gathering, missile warning, and early space warning functions, sometimes with irregular orbits that could easily be misidentified. These programs, operating at the nexus of military necessity and technological frontiers, contributed to a classified orbital landscape significantly more complex than civilian tracking databases of the time could comprehend, if at all accessible to the public. Despite later declassification of many such programs, gaps remain, and some aspects of orbital objects in polar trajectories are still disputed or inadequately explained, fueling speculation that the Black Knight might be one such classified or even foreign intelligence asset misinterpreted as an alien satellite. Modern satellite tracking and international cooperation in space situational awareness have gradually filled these gaps. Yet uncertainties linger about early projected orbits and interactions in the thermosphere, maintaining a fertile ground for myth-making and conspiracy theories surrounding mysterious objects like the Black Knight. Ultimately, understanding the Cold War space context illuminates how national security concerns, technological secrecy, and limited information flow contributed heavily to the Black Knight mystery's genesis and persistence. These terrestrial explanations, while perhaps less thrilling than alien origin stories, provide critical grounding in the real-world complexities of early satellite reconnaissance and space warfare strategies. Without these insights, the enigmatic observations that built the myth could have been lost in the haze of history, or falsely attributed solely to extraterrestrial origins, underscoring the importance of geopolitics in shaping perceptions of space phenomena. The Black Knight satellite, with its aura of secrecy and mystique, has transcended scientific inquiry and entered the realm of popular culture, becoming a prominent fixture in UFO lore, conspiracy theories, and digital media. Its portrayal in books, documentaries, films, and online platforms has significantly shaped public perception and fueled fascination for decades. Early media coverage of the Black Knight phenomenon capitalized on its enigmatic nature, blending scientific speculation with a narrative of cosmic mystery. In the 1970s, shows like In Search of and various UFO publications promulgated stories about radio signals, mysterious orbits, and the possible alien origin of this satellite, birthing a cultural mythos that oscillated between hopeful contact and ominous surveillance. The 1998 NASA photographs rekindled interest globally, prompting media outlets to publish sensationalized interpretations of the dark object near the International Space Station. Tabloid headlines and late-night TV shows often presented the Black Knight as bona fide proof of extraterrestrial technology, framing it as the ultimate cosmic secret hidden by space agencies. This sensationalism amplified the myth beyond aerospace circles into mainstream conspiracy culture. With the dawn of the internet age, the Black Knight story exploded into a viral phenomenon. Social media platforms, forums like Reddit, and YouTube channels dedicated extensive coverage, dissecting images, sharing alleged sightings, and theorizing about origins and implications. Viral videos portraying supposed footage or laser strikes on the satellite surfaced repeatedly, blending fact, fiction, and genuine space mission footage into complex digital folklore. Such content fueled lively online communities, ranging from skeptical debunkers to fervent believers, keeping the discourse dynamic and ever expanding. The anonymity and reach of the internet enabled rapid dissemination of theories, conspiratorial content, and pseudo-scientific claims, ensuring the Black Knight remained a persistent cultural topic. Artists, game developers, and musicians have drawn inspiration from the Black Knight mythology, embedding its imagery and themes into a variety of creative works. From sci-fi novels exploring ancient alien technologies to video games featuring enigmatic satellites monitoring humankind, the Black Knight operates as a powerful symbol of the unknown that pervades the human imagination. Public fascination with the Black Knight intersects also with broader societal themes: distrust of government transparency, the allure of hidden knowledge, and the human longing for extraterrestrial connection. This satellite myth encapsulates complex psychological and cultural currents driving belief in UFOs and conspiracies worldwide. Mainstream scientific and space agencies, while often dismissive, recognize the socio-cultural power of such phenomena. Outreach efforts, public education campaigns, and transparent disclosure initiatives are partly responses to the persistent speculation exemplified by stories like the Black Knight, reflecting a broader movement for openness in space exploration narratives. In sum, the Black Knight satellite's media and cultural impact reveals how a confluence of mystery, technology, and storytelling creates enduring myths. It exemplifies how ancient enigmas morph into digital age legends, shaping collective consciousness far beyond their origin, compelling humanity to peer upward with wonder and question the boundaries between reality and imagination. The Black Knight satellite is far from the only mysterious object or phenomenon in the annals of space lore. When viewed alongside other significant space-related enigmas, it forms a complex tapestry of myths, misinterpretations, and cultural narratives that continue to fascinate and confound. One immediate comparison arises with the Roswell incident of 1947. While Roswell centers on a supposed crash of an extraterrestrial vehicle on Earth, the Black Knight myth focuses on an enigmatic satellite orbiting silently above. Both stories share common themes: government secrecy, disputed evidence, and the tension between official explanations and public speculation. They exemplify how unverified claims about space and extraterrestrial life can shape popular consciousness and foster communities of believers and skeptics. Another event often discussed in relation to the Black Knight is the Rendlesham Forest Incident of 1980, sometimes described as Britain's Roswell, where military personnel reported close encounters with unexplained lights and craft. Like the Black Knight, Rendlesham has spawned numerous theories about alien surveillance or visitation, blending eyewitness testimonies with mistrust of institutional accounts. From a scientific standpoint, phenomena such as unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, recently thrust into the spotlight through U.S. government disclosures, share a space with the Black Knight in the public imaginary. These modern reports, while collected with technological sophistication, still defy easy categorization, reminding us of the limits of current knowledge. The Black Knight also overlaps with tales of anomalous satellites or phantom objects detected by radar or visual observations, yet never conclusively identified. Globally, reports vary from unexplained moons around planets to unidentified orbiting craft cataloged and lost in tracking databases, creating a broader context for understanding space mystery folklore. Key to appreciating these comparative cases is recognizing the interplay of technology, perception, and cultural context. Misidentifications of natural phenomena, such as satellites, balloons, atmospheric optics, or space debris, often cede legendary status. Social, political, and psychological factors, including distrust in authority and fascination with the unknown, amplify these tales. Moreover, the myths infuse contemporary discourse with broader existential questions. Are we alone? Is there advanced intelligence observing us? Can hidden cosmic watchers influence human history? Such questions resonate deeply, transcending mere fodder for conspiracy to touch on human identity and destiny. Modern scientific inquiry into space surveillance and unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, places the Black Knight satellite legend within a broader framework of ongoing efforts to understand anomalies in Earth's orbit. As space technology advances, so too does humanity's capacity to detect and analyze objects orbiting the planet, dramatically reshaping the narrative surrounding mysterious satellites. Space agencies today employ an array of sophisticated tools: radar systems, optical telescopes, infrared sensors, and laser ranging instruments designed to track tens of thousands of man-made objects. From active satellites to defunct debris, organizations like NORAD, NASA, and private companies maintain extensive catalogs, continually updating orbital positions, sizes, and trajectories, making the probability of undetected long-living satellites exceedingly low. In this context, the existence of a secret 13,000-year-old satellite becomes highly implausible. Orbital mechanics dictate that without continual propulsion or correction, atmospheric drag and gravitational perturbations would gradually degrade any object's orbit, leading to re-entry or chaotic trajectories over centuries, not millennia. Thus, the Black Knight's alleged age contradicts fundamental physical principles governing Earth orbit environments. Nevertheless, UFD studies conducted by military and scientific bodies have reignited interest in unidentified space objects. Recent U.S. government reports and congressional hearings acknowledging unexplained aerial vehicles, though focused largely on atmospheric and near-space phenomena, highlight gaps in current detection capabilities and the challenges posed by low observable signatures. Despite advances, phenomena remain that defy easy classification, occasionally captured on radar or video, but lacking definitive identification. This uncertainty echoes the theme central to Black Knight discourse, that some objects elude our understanding and may represent unknown technologies or natural phenomena. Contemporary science remains skeptical of extraterrestrial claims regarding the Black Knight, but accepts that further research into unidentified objects and debris is vital for space situational awareness and safety. Public interest in space anomalies has driven calls for increased transparency and international cooperation, encouraging the application of scientific rigor to mysterious observations. This segment examines the technological frameworks underpinning modern space monitoring, the physical laws governing satellite orbits, and recent developments in UAP research. It elucidates how scientific methodologies both clarify and complicate the story of the Black Knight, offering insight into where myth ends and empirical knowledge begins in the ongoing quest to understand Earth's orbital environment. The Black Knight satellite myth thrives not only because of the enigma of the object itself, but also due to broader issues surrounding government transparency, information control, and public trust in space-related endeavors. In an era marked by declassified documents, whistleblower testimonies, and increasing citizen demand for openness, the dynamics between official secrecy and public speculation have significantly shaped the narrative around the Black Knight. Historically, sovereign states, particularly during the Cold War and continuing into contemporary times, have classified many aerospace and satellite projects under national security pretexts. This secrecy naturally fosters gaps in publicly available data, inviting speculation about what might be hidden in Earth's orbit. The inability of citizens to obtain clear, timely, and verifiable information creates fertile ground for theories positing the existence of extraterrestrial artifacts secretly monitored or obscured by government agencies. The Black Knight legend gained notable traction during periods of heightened geopolitical tension and suspicion, when distrust of government proliferated. Believers argue that potentially incriminating evidence, photographic or signal-based, has routinely been sanitized, altered, or suppressed to maintain control over the narrative regarding what orbits Earth beyond human knowledge. Over the years, activists and some researchers have leveraged Freedom of Information Act, FOIA requests, and international equivalents to press for disclosure of satellite data, radar records, and space mission archives. Though some documents have been released, many remain heavily redacted or outright denied due to alleged security concerns, reinforcing suspicions of concealment. Concurrently, official denials often clash with anecdotal accounts from former military personnel, astronauts, and contractors who occasionally hint at encounters with unexplained orbital objects or unexplained data readings, further complicating the picture. The tension between official narratives and private testimonies fuels ongoing debates about the scope and nature of information withheld from the public. Modern movements advocating for transparency in UAP research and space situational awareness have gained momentum, particularly following government-led task forces and congressional hearings, recognizing and investigating unknown aerial and orbital phenomena. These initiatives symbolize a societal shift toward more openness and scientific inquiry, reflecting a desire to demystify the cosmos and instill public confidence. However, even with increased disclosure, the Black Knight remains emblematic of the challenges in balancing state security, scientific curiosity, and public right to know. The myth underscores the struggle between complex bureaucratic information management and a public hungry for certainty regarding humanity's place amid cosmic mysteries. Understanding the enduring fascination with the Black Knight satellite requires exploring not only the physical and scientific claims, but also the deeper psychological and sociological roots underpinning belief in such mysteries. The legend's persistence extends far beyond factual evidence. It resonates with fundamental aspects of human cognition, social dynamics, and cultural storytelling. At the core lies the human proclivity for pattern recognition and narrative construction. The brain naturally seeks meaning in ambiguous stimuli, whether optical illusions, random signals, or partial data, often interpreting them as intentional or significant. This phenomenon, known as pareidolia, helps explain why indistinct images or unexplained radio echoes are frequently viewed as alien messages or technology. Our minds are wired to create order from chaos, forging stories that satisfy the innate need for understanding. Conspiracy thinking also plays a crucial role. When official explanations seem incomplete, contradictory, or opaque, people become more likely to suspect hidden truths or cover-ups. The Black Knight satellite, surrounded by secrecy and conflicting reports, offers an ideal narrative for those skeptical of institutions. This mistrust feeds cycles of speculation and resistance to mainstream scientific accounts. Social identity and community further reinforce belief systems. Online forums, social media groups, and dedicated conspiracy communities create echo chambers, where members share, validate, and amplify narratives about the Black Knight. These social bonds provide belonging and purpose, transforming the satellite myth from abstract curiosity into a collective cultural phenomenon. Moreover, the Black Knight taps into transcendent themes of cosmic loneliness and the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, a universal human quest reflecting our desire to understand our place in the universe. The idea of an ancient alien observer, silently watching Earth, evokes a mixture of awe, fear, and hope, emotions that resonate across cultures and generations. These psychological and social processes interact synergistically. Cognitive biases shape interpretation, conspiratorial mindsets amplify suspicion, and social mechanisms sustain and disseminate the myth. The result is a robust, self-perpetuating legend that resists disconfirmation and adapts with new information. Exploring these dimensions sheds light on how the Black Knight has become more than a theory about a satellite. It has evolved into a symbolic tale illuminating human nature, epistemology, and the complex dance between myth and reality in the information age. In delving into the psychological and sociological underpinnings, we gain insight into why, regardless of scientific debunking, the Black Knight satellite continues to captivate imaginations and inspire ongoing inquiry. The Black Knight satellite myth has often been fueled by a series of astronomical and aerospace phenomena that, when misunderstood or misidentified, have crystallized into components of this enduring legend. Carefully examining these instances reveals how natural and human-made entities sometimes mimic or provoke narratives of ancient alien surveillance. One key example is the space debris photographed during NASA's STS-88 mission in 1998, which many conflated with the Black Knight. This object, later identified as a thermal blanket lost during a spacewalk, highlights how mundane technological debris can be misinterpreted as something far more mysterious, especially when viewed from unusual angles or in partial lighting. Another significant misidentification involves early radar signals and recordings of long-delayed echoes, LDEs. Amateur radio operators in the 1920s noted unusual signal returns, initially baffling observers and fueling space mystery speculation. Modern analysis attributes these to complex radio wave reflections in Earth's ionosphere, or plasma clouds, phenomena well understood today but still capable of generating momentary confusion in nascent radio technology's early days. Similarly, the pulsar signals Tesla may have first detected are now known to be natural electromagnetic emissions from rotating neutron stars. These celestial beacons emit stable, highly regular pulses, strikingly reminiscent of artificial signals, which understandably led Tesla and later enthusiasts to interpret them as intentional extraterrestrial messages. Cases of Soviet and American satellite launches during the Cold War era demonstrate another source of Black Knight-related confusion. Many classified spy satellites with unusual orbits, including polar trajectories, were unknown to the public, and sometimes observed as unidentified objects. Fragments from these satellites and spent rocket stages often remain in orbit for extended periods, creating elusive phenomena that blend into the extraterrestrial narrative. Even the famous astronaut Gordon Cooper reportedly claimed unidentified objects during his missions, adding an aura of governmental mystery. Though many such accounts have been clarified or debunked, they contributed significantly to the mythos, blending legitimate aerospace events with legend. Observations of high-altitude balloons, atmospheric lenses, and optical illusions such as sundogs or lenticular clouds have also been mistaken for anomalous objects orbiting Earth. These natural phenomena, visible under specific lighting and atmospheric conditions, occasionally produce silhouettes or flares that intrigue and puzzle observers. Understanding these real-world case studies provides crucial grounding for the Black Knight's mystique, demonstrating how a series of unrelated, often explainable events aggregate into a compelling conspiracy narrative. This cluster of phenomena raises important questions about perception, technology, and the intersection of scientific progress with human imagination. Examining each of these examples in detail reconciles observed anomalies with scientific explanations, reinforcing the notion that many Black Knight sightings and signals result from misunderstandings and contextual errors, rather than an alien satellite lurking invisibly above Earth. This analysis not only clarifies the sources of confusion, but also encourages a healthy skepticism and an appreciation for the nuanced challenges in space observation and interpretation. The Black Knight satellite holds a distinct place within the broader world of ufology and extraterrestrial conspiracy communities. Its fusion of hard science elements, speculative interpretations, and cultural mythology makes it a focal symbol around which diverse groups of enthusiasts, researchers, and believers coalesce, each bringing unique perspectives and motivations to the discourse. Central to ufology's embrace of the Black Knight is the figure of Donald Keyhoe, a pioneering UFO researcher who in the 1950s popularized reports of unidentified satellites in orbit, part of the foundation lore that later solidified the Black Knight narrative. Keyhoe's background as a Marine Corps officer and his public communication skills helped bring extraterrestrial theories into mainstream consciousness, inspiring generations of UFO researchers. Another key figure often cited is Duncan Lunan, whose 1970s analysis of long-delayed radio echoes and star map decoding, despite its scientific controversies, added an intellectual veneer and a deeper mystery to the tale. Modern ufology groups incorporate the Black Knight as an emblematic case that illustrates alleged government cover-ups and alien surveillance. These communities often operate outside mainstream scientific norms, fostering open discussions and debates while simultaneously advocating for official disclosure of information on unidentified space objects. Social platforms, online forums, and annual conventions serve as gathering points, where eyewitness reports, leaked documents, and speculative theories intertwine. Within these interactions, the Black Knight is more than an object. It is a symbol of resistance against secrecy, and a beacon of hope for proof of extraterrestrial intelligence. Some segments of the UFO community attribute the Black Knight's significance to interstellar archaeology, hypothesizing the satellite as a tangible relic of ancient contact with technologically advanced civilizations. This hypothesis connects with related beliefs in ancient astronaut theories, suggesting that extraterrestrials have visited and influenced Earth's development. Groups also debate the satellite's practical implications, whether it is a benign observer, a monitoring probe, or an active technology possibly capable of influencing or interacting with Earth systems. These discussions often cite alleged encounters with unidentified orbiting objects, and insist the Black Knight is just one manifestation of a broader alien presence. The dedicated communities around the Black Knight satellite vary widely, from rigorous researchers compiling data to casual enthusiasts captivated by mystery. However, they share a collective passion that sustains interest and inspires ongoing inquiry. Whistleblower revelations have become a potent component within the broader discourse on unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, and extraterrestrial existence, including the Black Knight satellite mythology. Although direct whistleblower reports specifically naming the Black Knight are rare, related statements about recovered alien technologies and secret space programs regularly feed public speculation and conspiracy circles. One of the most prominent figures in recent years is David Grush, a former U.S. intelligence official who testified before U.S. Congress alleging the existence of classified programs retrieving extraterrestrial craft and technologies from various sites. While Grush's claims do not explicitly mention the Black Knight, they invigorate broader narratives regarding hidden space objects and advanced alien artifacts in orbit or controlled environments. These testimonies fuel claims that governments worldwide possess or track objects beyond known human technology, lending a veneer of credibility to claims about secret satellites or probes. Believers in the Black Knight argue that such whistleblowers provide indirect confirmation of the satellite's existence and an ongoing concealment effort. Other whistleblowers have surfaced over the decades with accounts of clandestine space missions, secret recoveries, or unexplained aerial phenomena. These narratives often circulate within UFO research communities, shaping mythologies and sustaining public interest, even when lacking corroborating proof. Skeptics caution that whistleblower claims, while intriguing, require rigorous validation and emphasize vulnerability to disinformation campaigns or misinterpretations. The sensitive and often unverifiable nature of these disclosures complicates their integration into scientific discourse. Nonetheless, Whistleblower testimonies have shifted public dialogue, inspiring government acknowledgment of UAP phenomena and increased transparency initiatives. This evolving environment encourages a more nuanced engagement with space mysteries, blending official disclosure with speculative elements. Within this landscape, the Black Knight satellite serves as a symbolic reference point, a connecting thread for those who believe hidden, non-human artifacts orbit Earth, watched over by shadowy agencies reluctant to reveal the truth. Understanding the impact of whistleblower testimony reveals how individual narratives shape collective mythologies. These revelations act as catalysts for renewed exploration, debate, and cultural reflection about humanity's place amid the unknown, influencing both believers and skeptics in the ongoing saga of the Black Knight. The Black Knight satellite myth presents critical challenges from physical and engineering perspectives when subjected to rigorous scientific evaluation. Claims suggesting a non-human, ancient satellite orbiting Earth for 13,000 years conflict sharply with established principles of orbital dynamics, material science, and space-environment interactions. Orbital mechanics dictate that objects in low Earth orbit, LEO, experience gradual decay due to atmospheric drag, even at altitudes typically above 200 kilometers. This drag slows the satellite, lowering its orbit until re-entry and incineration occur. Without active propulsion or orbital adjustment technologies, a satellite cannot realistically sustain a stable orbit for thousands of years. The presence of an ancient, intact satellite defies this fundamental physics. Material durability further constrains longevity. Space environment factors include micrometeoroid impacts, atomic oxygen erosion, temperature extremes, and radiation exposure. These processes degrade spacecraft materials over decades or centuries, necessitating routine maintenance or advanced shielding to preserve function. No known technology, even modern human engineering, can ensure orbital integrity for millennia without continuous intervention. It follows that any object claiming to have orbited Earth for 13,000 years would require propulsion systems capable of station keeping and robust materials engineered beyond current scientific comprehension. While speculative materials such as carbon nanotubes or novel composites might extend durability, evidence of such advanced constructions remains absent in documented satellite debris or recovered artifacts. Additionally, the satellite's reported near-polar orbit aligns with trajectories used by contemporary Earth-observing or reconnaissance satellites, which are closely monitored by multiple international tracking systems. The impossibility of an unknown craft remaining undetected by modern global surveillance further undermines claims of its long-term presence. The so-called mysterious radio signals allegedly linked to the Black Knight have scientifically credible alternative explanations, such as pulsars or terrestrial signal reflections, eliminating the need for exotic hypotheses. Scientific consensus thus strongly favors interpretations grounded in natural phenomena, human-made debris, and signal misinterpretations, rather than a 13,000-year-old extraterrestrial satellite. This evaluation is supported by rigorous data modeling, radar tracking, and material science studies. Despite the extraordinary claims, no verifiable physical evidence such as recovered components or measurable orbital data supports the existence of the Black Knight satellite as an ancient technological artifact. Continuing scientific inquiry emphasizes evidence-based methodologies, critical analysis, and transparency to address such extraordinary assertions. This assessment underscores the necessity of grounding space mysteries in physical law and engineering realities, cautioning against credulity toward appealing but scientifically unsubstantiated narratives. Part 18: Scientific Evaluation of the Black Knight Satellite, Orbital Mechanics, Material Durability, and Long-Term Stability. the Black Knight satellite myth presents critical challenges from physical and engineering perspectives when subjected to rigorous scientific evaluation. Claims suggesting a non-human, ancient satellite orbiting Earth for 13,000 years conflict sharply with established principles of orbital dynamics, material science, and space environment interactions. Orbital mechanics dictate that objects in low Earth orbit (LEO) experience gradual decay due to atmospheric drag, even at altitudes typically above 200 kilometers. This drag slows the satellite, lowering its orbit until re-entry and incineration occur. Without active propulsion or orbital adjustment technologies, a satellite cannot realistically sustain a stable orbit for thousands of years. The presence of an ancient, intact satellite defies this fundamental physics. Material durability further constrains longevity. Space environment factors include micrometeoroid impacts, atomic oxygen erosion, temperature extremes, and radiation exposure. These processes degrade spacecraft materials over decades or centuries, necessitating routine maintenance or advanced shielding to preserve function. No known technology, even modern human engineering, can ensure orbital integrity for millennia without continuous intervention. It follows that any object claiming to have orbited Earth for 13,000 years would require propulsion systems capable of station keeping and robust materials engineered beyond current scientific comprehension. While speculative materials such as carbon nanotubes or novel composites might extend durability, evidence of such advanced constructions remains absent in documented satellite debris or recovered artifacts. Additionally, the satellite's reported near-polar orbit aligns with trajectories used by contemporary Earth-observing or reconnaissance satellites, which are closely monitored by multiple international tracking systems. The impossibility of an unknown craft remaining undetected by modern global surveillance further undermines claims of its long-term presence. The so-called mysterious radio signals allegedly linked to the Black Knight have scientifically credible alternative explanations, such as pulsars or terrestrial signal reflections, eliminating the need for exotic hypotheses. Scientific consensus thus strongly favors interpretations grounded in natural phenomena, human-made debris, and signal misinterpretations rather than a 13,000-year-old extraterrestrial satellite. This evaluation is supported by rigorous data modeling, radar tracking, and material science studies. Despite the extraordinary claims, no verifiable physical evidence, such as recovered components or measurable orbital data, supports the existence of the Black Knight satellite as an ancient technological artifact. Continuing scientific inquiry emphasizes evidence-based methodologies, critical analysis, and transparency. To address such extraordinary assertions, this assessment underscores the necessity of grounding space mysteries in physical law and engineering realities, cautioning against credulity toward appealing but scientifically unsubstantiated narratives. Advancements in technology and space surveillance capabilities have dramatically transformed our ability to monitor Earth's orbit, playing a crucial role in addressing long-standing space mysteries, such as the Black Knight satellite. Modern radar, optical telescopes, and space-based sensors track over 30,000 human-made objects orbiting Earth, cataloging satellites, debris, and other entities in real time. Sophisticated orbital prediction models and collision avoidance systems enable space agencies and private firms to maintain detailed awareness of objects in low Earth orbit, LEO, and beyond. This enhanced surveillance provides a systematic method for verifying claims about unknown objects by matching observations to existing tracked satellites or debris. As a result, many past anomalies, once interpreted as mysterious or alien, can now be identified with greater confidence as known hardware or transient space junk. Digital image processing and machine learning tools applied to telescope and astronaut imagery further refined object detection and characterization, reducing misidentifications. For example, Analysis of the famous 1998 STS-88 thermal blanket images has been corroborated with mission logs, telemetry, and physical modeling to confirm its origin. Global tracking networks operated by NORAD, ESA, JAXA, and private enterprises share data, promoting transparency and collective space situational awareness. These collaborations diminish the likelihood of long-term undetected objects existing in Earth orbit without recognition. Satellite simulation software allows researchers to reconstruct orbital histories, assessments that show how objects drift, decay, or collide over time, factors incompatible with the alleged ancient stable orbit of the Black Knight. Innovative techniques in spectroscopy aid in analyzing materials remotely, helping differentiate natural celestial bodies, artificial satellites, and space debris, providing clues about composition and origin. Despite this progress, limitations remain. Smaller objects, those in higher geosynchronous orbits, or those actively maneuvering, can evade some sensors. Nonetheless, these gaps are closing as technologies evolve. The expanding capabilities of space surveillance ecosystems have not exposed any credible evidence of the Black Knight as an extraordinary ancient satellite. Instead, they highlight the role of modern technology in unraveling cosmic curiosities, separating mundane facts from myths. The integration of cutting-edge observational tools with historical datasets ensures future claims about unexplained orbiting objects will undergo rigorous scrutiny, reinforcing scientific rigor and reinforcing public confidence in space transparency. Overall, the fusion of technology, data sharing, and analytical advancements constitutes humanity's best defense against misinformation, guiding an enlightened understanding of Earth's complex orbital environment and demystifying legends like the Black Knight satellite. Despite numerous debunkings and scientific clarifications, the Black Knight satellite myth remains vibrant and influential. Its persistence reveals much about the intersection of culture, media, and technology in shaping contemporary mythologies. The myth's resilience owes partly to its ability to evolve with changing media landscapes. Early UFO magazines, television documentaries, and books established foundational narratives blending mystery, science, and conspiracy. These stories proliferated further with the rise of the internet, where digital platforms enabled rapid, global dissemination and reinterpretation of the Black Knight story. Social media, forums, and video sharing sites foster communities that share alleged sightings, analyses, and speculative theories. This participation transforms consumers into creators, the collective storytelling process constantly renewing and expanding the myth's scope. Viral videos featuring purported UFO or satellite footage keep the narrative in the public eye, regardless of scientific validity. Misinformation and disinformation also play roles. Some content creators, whether knowingly or inadvertently, blur the lines between fact and fiction, enhancing engagement and appeal. Algorithms prioritize sensational content, amplifying exposure of Black Knight-related material. Culturally, the Black Knight symbolizes a broader human fascination with the unknown and distrust of official narratives. It serves as a vessel for exploring fears of surveillance, secrecy, and the cosmic unknown, tapping into archetypal themes that resonate emotionally across societal boundaries. The myth also benefits from ambiguity. The lack of definitive evidence allows diverse interpretations, letting it inhabit multiple spaces simultaneously, as an alien artifact, a government cover-up, or a symbol of cosmic mystery. This flexibility fuels debates and maintains interest over decades. Educational opportunities arise through addressing the Black Knight story. Critical thinking about the myth encourages scientific literacy, media analysis skills, and understanding of information ecosystems. discussing this legend offers pathways to explore space science, technology, and cultural dynamics. In summary, the Black Knight satellite myth's endurance reflects the complex interplay between human curiosity, technological change, and cultural meaning-making. It stands as a testament to how modern myths form, persist, and evolve, even amidst extensive efforts to unravel them. The Black Knight satellite myth is an intricate tapestry woven through decades of historical context, scientific breakthroughs, cultural shifts, and the dynamic human imagination. To fully appreciate its complexity, one must explore how these elements collectively contributed to its emergence and longevity. At the dawn of the 20th century, advances in radio technology expanded humanity's ability to explore unseen realms. The enigmatic radio signals observed by Nikola Tesla and later by amateur radio enthusiasts like Jürgen Hals provided fertile ground for speculation about intelligent extraterrestrial life. These early signal detections occurred at a time when space was largely uncharted and mysteries abounded, igniting curiosity that often exceeded the limits of contemporary scientific understanding. After World War II, the launch of Sputnik and the rapid development of space exploration set the stage for heated Cold War competition, secrecy, and fascination with space technologies. Classified satellite launches, radar anomalies, and secretive military programs often appeared as ghostly presences in orbital data, unable to be fully explained by the public or even some scientists. These unknowns became emblematic of a hidden cosmic dimension, where espionage, science, and speculation intertwined. The cultural context of the Cold War era, infused with paranoia and fascination with extraterrestrial visitation, helped cement the Black Knight as a symbol of the alien unknown. Popular media, including sci-fi literature, television, and cinema, amplified these narratives, embedding imagery of mysterious orbiters and cosmic watchers into the collective imagination. The explosion of digital media intensified the myth's reach. Social networking, video platforms, and forums enabled rapid transmission, reinterpretation, and sensationalization of Black Knight lore, making it accessible to global audiences and diverse subcultures. This democratization of storytelling transformed the narrative into a living myth, continuously revised and enriched. Moreover, the human psychological need for wonder, the allure of mystery, and the quest for meaning in a vast universe fuel the myth's persistence. The Black Knight embodies deep-seated archetypes: the silent guardian, the secret watcher, the bridge between humanity and the cosmos, touching emotional and philosophical chords. Revisiting historical context reveals that the Black Knight legend is less about a singular event or artifact and more about how science, culture, politics, and imagination interact to shape enduring myths. It reminds us that human narratives about space often reflect our hopes, fears, and scientific frontiers simultaneously. In unraveling the saga through history and cultural analysis, we uncover the layered processes that alchemize facts and fiction into compelling stories. The Black Knight satellite thus stands as a monument to human creativity, scientific curiosity, and the timeless allure of the unknown. The Black Knight satellite remains one of the most captivating and enduring space mysteries, blending threads of history, science, conspiracy, culture, and human imagination. Throughout the preceding parts, a vast array of information has been examined, from historical radio signals and Cold War satellite secrecy to modern technological advances and psychological factors that maintain the myth. Key points highlighted include the natural explanations for unusual radio signals such as pulsars and ionospheric reflections, the identification of space debris, particularly the 1998 thermal blanket incident, and the critical understanding that orbital mechanics render the notion of a 13,000-year-old satellite highly implausible. Scientific evaluations consistently favor terrestrial artifacts and phenomena rather than extraterrestrial origins. The role of government secrecy, whistleblower accounts, and public demand for transparency complicate the narrative, nurturing speculation and mistrust. The Black Knight satellite mystique thrives in information gaps and cultural archetypes of cosmic watchers and hidden knowledge. Psychological and sociological analysis reveals how cognitive biases, social identity, and collective storytelling shape belief systems, while advances in space surveillance continue refining what is known and what remains unexplained. Culturally, the Black Knight acts as a mirror, reflecting humanity's yearning for connection beyond Earth and its fascination with the unknown, making it a modern myth that transcends literal interpretation. While conclusive proof of an alien satellite remains absent, the legend's richness lies in its multifaceted nature, spanning real scientific puzzles, historical mysteries, popular imagination, and the profound human search for meaning. This comprehensive exploration underscores the importance of critical thinking, scientific rigor, and open inquiry, while appreciating the narrative power and symbolic resonance of one of space's most mysterious stories. The Black Knight satellite, whether fact or fiction, embodies our enduring curiosity and the ever-expanding frontier between the known and unknown in the cosmos. The Black Knight satellite legend rests on a series of claims that have repeatedly surfaced in popular media. Unusual radio signals detected before the space age, the existence of a mysterious object in near-polar orbit around Earth, and photographic evidence from space missions, especially the 1998 STS-88 shuttle flights. Careful scientific and historical analysis dismantles these claims by contextualizing the evidence within known phenomena and documented events. First, the radio signals often attributed to the Black Knight were most likely early observations of natural astrophysical phenomena. Nikola Tesla's reported signals in 1899 coincided with the era before pulsars were discovered. Subsequent reinterpretations suggest signals came from pulsars rotating neutron stars emitting periodic radio waves with astonishing regularity. Similarly, the long-delayed echoes described by radio operators are understood as ionospheric or plasma-related radio wave reflections, not intentional alien transmissions. Second, the supposed satellite's detection in between 1950 and 1960 via radar and telescope was likely misidentifications of classified human satellites or debris. The Cold War's secret military space programs launched satellites into polar orbits for reconnaissance, whose identities were not publicly available, thus explaining unknown objects in such trajectories. Third, the iconic 1998 photographs taken during the STS-88 mission, often cited as visual proof, have been explicitly identified by NASA and aerospace experts as a thermal blanket lost during a spacewalk. The astronauts' own communications and mission logs confirm the loss of this insulation, matching the visual characteristics of the object in question. Extensive satellite tracking by NORAD and global agencies tracks tens of thousands of orbiting objects, leaving little room for a secret ancient satellite to remain undetected. Orbital mechanics and material degradation also counter the feasibility of a 13,000-year-old crafted object maintaining a stable orbit. Modern scientific consensus, supported by astrophysics, aerospace engineering, and historical documentation, categorically refutes the existence of an alien satellite known as the Black Knight. Instead, it highlights how fragmented events, misinterpretations, and cultural narratives combined over time to weave a rich mythos. Understanding this debunking is essential to appreciating how science protects against misinformation, while respecting the innate human allure of mystery. The legend of the Black Knight teaches valuable lessons about critical thinking in an age of rapid information sharing and evolving space technologies. The saga of the Black Knight satellite is an intricate dance of mystery, misinterpretation, and mythology woven into humanity's quest to understand the cosmos, while compelling narratives and intriguing coincidences stir the imagination. The critically examined evidence reveals a tale shaped far more by human perception and cultural dynamics than by extraterrestrial artifacts. Numerous scientific investigations attribute early radio signals to natural celestial sources, like pulsars, demystifying supposed alien communications. Detailed spacecraft mission logs and eyewitness accounts clarify that images seized as proof derive from thermal blankets, human-made debris, or optical illusions, not from unknown technologies. Rigorous orbital mechanics affirm that any satellite surviving millennia in stable Earth orbit contradicts our deepest understanding of physics and material science. Compounding this, the Cold War era's secretive satellite deployments and classified missions provided fertile ground for unidentified sightings and confusion. Modern global space situational awareness capabilities continue to shrink the realm of unknown objects, systematically identifying thousands of tracked items and negating the likelihood of a hidden ancient satellite. Yet the Black Knight satellite continues to thrive, not because of validated evidence, but because it serves broader human needs. It embodies ideological narratives about secrecy, surveillance, and extraterrestrial contact, while offering a captivating symbol for the unexplained and a rallying point for conspiracy discourse. This persistence underscores the profound impact of cognitive biases, communal storytelling, and psychological drives that shape belief in mysteries beyond empirical proof. The legend's survival reveals much about trust, skepticism, and the social functions of myth-making in an age saturated with information and speculation. Ultimately, the Black Knight satellite myth stands as a mirror reflecting humanity's enduring desire to believe in wonder amid a vast universe. It challenges science and society to continue probing the unknown with rigor and open-mindedness, balancing critical inquiry with respect for the symbolic and cultural power of such mysteries. The Black Knight, whether a piece of space debris or a cosmic enigma, remains an extraordinary story, one that propels humanity's imagination as much as it invites us to question, explore, and understand our place in the infinite cosmos.